Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I did a favorites video. I don't think I've done one since April, so I'm very excited to do this one today. I've gained quite a few new subscribers since the last time I did a favorites video, so hello. Thank you for joining the club. I'm so excited to have you here. So throughout the month, I like to keep my videos very short, concise, and structured. That's why, I really do my best to keep my Tuesday review videos short. Cut out any extra filler and just get to the point. Whereas favorites videos are kind of my chance to just sit here and blab for a while. So I hope that's what you're here for. I didn't have the chance to do a favorites video in May because that transition from May to June, those couple of weeks there are every year just crazy fun, but crazy. It's Anime North, and then the weekend right after is Niagara Falls Comic Con, and just so much stuff happens, and it's so much fun, and I love it. Anime North was super fun this year. I had a great time. If you haven't seen that vlog, you should watch it, because it's just a lot of me squealing at people. And I bought a lot of stuff at Anime North this year, but this backpack that looks like a black cat that I use every day, I bought that there. I bought a lot of stuff from Prowse Pottery and Soap Company, which is the company that I always buy all my soap from. They're based in Hamilton. I bought a lot of prints. And then at Niagara Falls Comic Con, the only real thing I bought was this Xena figure because I have the Gabrielle figure. And then I've always looked for the Xena figure, and then I saw her, and I, honestly freaked out, and I bought it. Didn't even look at the price. And then, honestly, every time I talk about this, I get so excited, and I get, teary-eyed, and my heart starts racing. But when they announced that Lucy Lawless is coming to Fan Expo at the end of the summer, I was at work, and I'm pretty sure I jumped out of my skin. We even talked about it on air the next day because it was such a thing. I was almost in tears. I was shaking because that's all I've ever wanted. My whole life is to meet Lucy Lawless. I've always thought the industry of paying money to meet celebrities is kind of foolish. I mean, I've done it once or twice, but really there are very few celebrities that I would pay a significant amount of money to meet because, whatever. I understand why you pay money because, the con has to be able to afford to get the celebrity there and house them and that sort of thing, and, really being a personality like that is a business, and I get it, but I always feel like conventions ask you for way too much money, but I always said the only person that they could get at a convention and I would pay anything to meet and to get a photo with is Lucy Lawless, and I was already planning on wearing my Xena cosplay, so I'm just so excited, I'm honestly gonna tear up. So let's move away from that, and let's talk about some of the more makeup stuff that I've loved recently. Most of it is more recent things that I've acquired, so we'll talk about that. But one thing I didn't acquire recently that I do love, I don't have the box, so I'll have to insert a picture, but it is the Too Faced Sex on the Peach set. Now, I talked about this when I first bought it during the Sephora sale in April, and I just wanted to let you know that I still love it. I still highly recommend this. I thought it was going to be, limited edition to, April, basically, but I was just at Sephora the other day, and they have, a new display for it, basically, so they still have it, so definitely pick it up. I love the primer. It's so great. I use it on my forehead because my forehead gets oily. I actually really like the full size better than Sex Mascara. I've had samples of it before, and I feel like the samples don't do the full size justice. So full size is great. The powder, my only con with the powder is that because it has the peach tone to it, when I was paler, and I used it under my eyes, it would darken, my concealer, because my concealers are basically white when I'm pale, because that's how pale they have to be. It would cast a little bit of darkness, but now that I have a little bit of an unintentional tan, believe it or not, the lighting is doing that thing where it makes my face look pale again, but now that I have a little bit of a tan, I can use it, and it's a really nice powder. I really like it to set my foundation down too. It's gorge. So I love that as well. And then the only thing that I guess I'm not crazy about in the set is the setting spray, but I think that could also be because I do think that my skin, other than my forehead, my skin is drier, and then so with a matte powder and a matte foundation and a matte primer, I just don't need a matte setting spray too. It goes too matte. So if you had really oily skin, you might like it. I just don't like it because my skin's too dry. That said, it's a great, amazing value. So I would totally 100% recommend you picking it up if you're interested. They also just launched a bunch of new shades in the Peach Perfect foundation. So I bought the lightest one. It is too pale for me now that I have a little bit of a tan. But it's nice to have it to mix. And it's just really great. And of course, Jackie Aina, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, just partnered with Too Faced to launch a whole bunch of new shades of the Born This Way foundation. And that foundation is really nice too, especially if you have drier skin, so I like that one too. I just didn't like enough to buy it because it was kind of expensive, but now I'm babbling. Back to the Sex on the Peach set. It's great, amazing, love it, moving on. So the e.l.f. small tapered brush I have had since the dawn of time. I think I bought that brush before I was even in high school. I think it was given to me somehow. So, eventually the ferrule broke off, and that was fine. I just kept gluing it back on. And then, after you wash and you use a brush so many times, the bristles are going to start to fray and get like coarse almost, and it was beyond saving. So after like 10 years with it, I finally threw it out, and I was like, well, whatever, they sell e.l.f. in Walmart now, so I'll just go buy one. Didn't have a small tapered brush, but they did have this e.l.f. highlighting brush. Mine is dirty because I used it on my face today, but I actually almost prefer the highlighting brush to the small tapered brush, simply because it's a little bit flimsier and it's a little bit skinnier. So what I always use the small tapered brush for is setting down my eyelids, swiping powder off underneath, and then I'll like pat powder onto my face with it because it's not going to put a whole bunch on. And I actually, because it's not as dense, because it's a little bit fluffier and it's a little bit thinner this way, I actually prefer it. So if you're looking for a new like skinny fluffy tapered brush like this, the e.l.f. highlighting brush is great. And a product that I really love to use it with is this by Cover FX. This is what's it even called? The Perfect Light Highlighting Powder. I only bought this because when I was in Sephora, I saw that it was on sale. So this was on sale for only $21. Mine is in the shade Moonlight, which is the lightest shade that they have. When I am very pale, I can see this being too dark for what I use it for, but that's okay. What I use it for is, it's not a super duper highlighty powder. It's more reminiscent of the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. And I've always wanted one of those, but I've refused to pay the price for them. So something like this, that's got a little more of a subtle sheen to it. I really love it for setting my foundation or for swiping off powder under my eyes. Anything like that I don't actually want to look too matte in the end. It's really nice. And like I said, it's on sale for $21. But the shade Moonlight isn't very light. So just be warned if you're super pale. Another brush I want to talk about. I went to the Body Shop the other day because I was running out of my tea tree oil face wipes, and they had their usual buy two get one free sale on. So I was like, you know what? I've never bought a Body Shop brush. I really want to try one. So I picked up this. This is the Body Shop. It doesn't say on it what it's called. P61E. I think it was called their stippling brush or their foundation brush or something. It's this flat topped kabuki brush style brush that I've had a bajillion versions of in my life. But this one is so much more special to me, because my issue with foundation brushes is typically, no matter what I do, I find that I get streaks. And I don't get streaks with this. It definitely applies my foundation to a sheerer coverage than some people might like. I prefer sheer coverage foundation, so that's fine with me. But I just like put the foundation on like a palette or my hand or something, and I put it on the brush, stipple it on, rub it in. Absolutely perfect coverage. I love it so much. I cleaned it for you today so that I wouldn't show you a gross brush, so I didn't get to use it today, but I've used it like every day since I got it, and I've washed it a bunch of times, and I haven't noticed, like, it's not shedding or anything, and I'm so surprised with that, because usually the first couple of times I wash a foundation brush, it loses hairs, or I can't get all the foundation out, and this one is just slightly stained on the ends, and that's it. So I feel like the quality of this brush is really there. It's got a kind of a weight to it. The bristles are nice. They're like dense, but they're not too stiff. I just really like this brush for applying my foundation. I even use it sometimes to blend out my concealer if I just don't want to dampen my sponge that day. Also in that Body Shop trip, I picked up two things from their vitamin E line. I have talked about the vitamin E eye cream on my channel before. It's a review video. It's up. You can go watch it if you would like to. But one of their long-standing vitamin E products that I have always loved is their vitamin E serum in oil. I believe I've talked about this on my channel before. But lately, I just really love, after I wash my face at night and I put on the Buffet by The Ordinary, I take a whole drop of this. Like a whole drop. And I just put it all over my face. And I look like a straight up greased chicken. But in the morning, my skin looks so nice. Like, it's so hydrated and plump. And I don't have all those lines that I'm used to having over here. My skin just looks so good. And the girl, when I bought this the first time, told me that she had a scar on her face. And it has helped to diminish the look of that scar. And I don't really have scars on my face, but I have, like, the red marks that zits past have left. So I'm hoping this will help heal those too, help fade those too. But if not, I'm fine with just waking up every morning with super nice hydrated skin that I don't even want to put makeup on because it looks so nice, you know? So I definitely recommend this. And then the other thing that I picked up from their vitamin E line is actually a new product, and it is their hydrating face mist. Now, the first time I used this, I use too much. That's the issue. Because, you know, I watch so much YouTube that I get stuck in this beauty YouTuber thing where, you know how they basically like bathe themselves in setting spray? You don't have to do that. You don't even have to do that with the setting sprays that they're using. So I did that the first time and I was sticky. Like, if you use too much of this, you will be sticky or face will, it's not fun. But if you just use the lightest little mist of this, you will be so dewy. So if you have an issue with like really dry skin and your skin looks too matte and you look like, ugh, cakey, makeup-y, whatever, this is a great, more affordable face mist. It's not like it's super cheap, but it's definitely more affordable. It made my skin look so nice. And then today I actually tried using it as a face, like a primer for the first time. I woke up, I washed my face, I put on moisturizer, and then I waited like 5 hours to do this video. So before I put on makeup, I sprayed this all over my face, let it soak in a little bit, then put on foundation. I'm wearing the L'Oreal Pro Glow. I think it looks pretty good. I feel like this is what I imagine I would want out of the Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist or whatever it's called. But I would never pay that much money for that. And then this is vitamin E, so I feel like it's good for me, right? And then the last makeup-y item that I wanted to mention in this video to you, don't judge me on this when I hold it up, okay? Listen. I had to buy this. Listen, I just want you to know that I understand that I'm a hypocrite. When this palette launched, it was met with so much internet controversy about, like, crappy quality. It is supposed to be the sister to the Modern Renaissance palette, which I also have. But then there were so many videos of people, like, messing it up, blah, blah, blah. My sister really wanted this palette because the color scheme is absolutely beautiful, but actually I talked her out of it because everyone was saying the quality was so terrible. And then I bought it myself. Can you imagine me? I'm just the absolute worst. I will say this palette is not without its flaws. I feel like to market it as the sister to Modern Renaissance is not fair, because I feel like you shouldn't do that if you're changing the formula. You know, I feel like it's almost false advertising. So this formula is definitely different than the Modern Renaissance, but with that being said, like, it is really beautifully pigmented. The shadows do kick up a lot, and they can be hard to blend if you use too much. You know, we see all these videos of people with their big old fluffy brushes and they shove it in there and then they swirl it around a whole lot. What are you doing? Who puts on eyeshadow like that? You take a fluffy brush, you tap it in, you can tap it off on the side too, and that's it. That's all it takes. That's all you need. You know, it's just people being too dramatic for views. It is the eyeshadow palette that I'm wearing today. I have a lid shade on from the Treasure Chest palette that I got in my Yes Oh Yes box, but all my crease stuff is from this palette. This shade Dawn is definitely my most used shade, and as you can tell from the looks of Electric and Cube, it's made a mess. But my biggest issue with this palette is actually with the shades Electric and Cube, so I really don't mind. Electric and Cube are the only two shades in this palette that are considered duochrome, so they're supposed to be like sort of shimmery, shifty. They're not very good. I don't know what's wrong with them, but it's almost as if it's not a film that they get on top, but they almost like reseal themselves if you put a brush in or your finger, and I feel like I had to take like a little spoolie and like rough it up before I can use it and actually pick anything up. Like, they get hard in the pan. I don't know why. The rest of these are all soft and fluffy and you just touch them and they kick up a lot of dust, whereas these ones I really had to like dig into to use. And I don't really want to do that. That seems unnecessary and extra. Like, just make them normal shimmery shades. Adorn here is a fine shimmery shade. I don't know why these two are messed up, but whatever. I didn't buy the palette for these two shades. I bought them for all the mattes. So the brush that came in this palette was absolute garbage, though. Same with the brush that came in Modern Renaissance. Like, the fact that I can buy $3 e.l.f. brushes and they're amazing and they last me my whole life, and then a brush that comes in a $55 palette or whatever this was, like, I take it out, I just touch it on my hand to see if it's soft, and bristles start falling out. Like, come on. Anastasia, you can do better than that. You have some great brushes in your line in general. Why do you make the brushes that come in your palettes so terrible? Do better. But this palette is not bad. I'm still kind of conflicted as to if I should do a Tuesday review on it. I mean, it's been so long since it came out that it wouldn't get, like, you know, all up in the drama, that it would really just be about the palette. But I don't know if anyone's interested in that. Do you want me to do a Tuesday review on the Subculture palette? Let me know in the comments below. And that's all for makeup-y stuff that I want to talk about in this video. Beyond that, I've really just been still watching House on Amazon Prime Video. I just finished season 4 as of this morning, so now I know going forward I haven't seen any of it, because I know that I had only ever seen until like halfway through season 4, so now I know we're in completely uncharted territory here. And then I discovered that there is Amazon Music, and I discovered this because my eldest sister, Emily, her YouTube is Wench Fairy, she told me about this, and I didn't even know, and so I downloaded the Amazon Music app. It's amazing. You can like download music so that you're not using data listening to them when you're out places, and they have like all the stuff that matters to me. Like they have all the Demis and all the Gagas and all of that, but then they also have like the Lord of the Rings score, which is what I would actually listen to. So if you have Amazon Prime and you watch Prime Video, you might as well download Amazon Music. I mean, you're already paying for it. It's just really great, and I didn't even know it was there. And there are so many movies in theaters right now that I want to see that I feel like I'm so far behind in the world. Like, I haven't seen The Incredibles. I haven't seen Hereditary. I want to see Ocean's 8. I can't believe I didn't see Ocean's 8 on opening night. Like, who am I? I wanted to see it so bad. I still want to see it. That's probably the one that I'm most likely to still see. There's just so many movies I want to see, and I haven't seen any of them. What is your favorite recent movie release? Let me know in the comments below so that I can decide on what movie to go see first, and then I will do my best to see as many of them as possible. I just don't like going to the movies because then I have to like get dressed and leave my house, which is not something I typically choose to do. And anyway, that's about it for this favorites video. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the summer and to hanging out with you and making some more videos. What stuff did you love in the month of June/May? I would love to hear what you loved in the comments below, because then I can like look it up and find it, and maybe I'll love it too. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!